Hello and welcome to The Gaggle, where we challenge and, if necessary, destroy media narratives. I'm George Szamuely. With me today, of course, is Peter Lavelle, co-founder of The Gaggle and host also of RT's talk show, Crosstalk. Well, a remarkable thing happened over the weekend. 100 of America's top CEOs took part in a Zoom call, some of whom were too busy at the Augusta Masters tournament, with all their corporate friends, but nonetheless, they managed to find a little bit of time to take part in this Zoom call on the burning issue of the hour, which is the electoral reforms that are being proposed in various states. And the CEOs decided that they were against it, and they were absolutely categorically opposed to election integrity laws that they themselves admitted are now being proposed in 47 states. Nonetheless, they said they very firmly opposed it, and that not only will they not provide any funding for politicians who favor electoral integrity laws, but they will consider moving investment out of states that pass such election integrity laws. Now, there are a lot of things that one can say about this. And I mean, one of the most remarkable aspects of it is that these are CEOs. So let's remember, these are not the employees of these giant corporations. These are corporations that employ tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. They don't speak for any of them. They don't even speak for the shareholders. We don't know how the shareholders feel about this. So these are CEOs that arrogantly decide for themselves that they will overturn democratic outcomes, because these are proposals being debated, voted on by state legislatures. They determine they know better than state legislatures.
Yeah, but they're not going to overturn. They're just not going to.
But they think they think that they know better. So therefore, they say, well, I mean, they want to overturn them. I mean, essentially, they are trying to use their economic muscle. I mean, when they say we're going to pull investment out of the state, I mean, they are essentially saying, hey, you don't play ball with us, you lose the investment. I mean, it's kind of what happened with Kristi Noem, who again, it was a democratic decision arrived at by the legislature. Noem caved to the corporations and vetoed the legislature. So that's the goal. Now, so that's one thing. The media are, of course, clapping their hands with glee, apparently not troubled at all by this completely undemocratic arrogation of power, because again, these are voters who vote for representatives who then pass legislation. But no, these are corporations, and therefore the media are happy with it. You remember the same media that were hysterical in 2010 when the Supreme Court passed the Citizens United decisions, and then, oh my God, money in politics, this is horrific. And we had years of hysteria. Remember, Obama made a whole to-do about it at the State of the Union, to have the Supreme Court ruled in that way. But apparently it's fine if these corporations get themselves involved. The other thing is, which is kind of a remarkable aspect, is how we have reached this point where the greediest, nastiest people on the face of the earth, these are people who help themselves with exorbitant salaries, pay their workers very little, don't recognize unions, ship their jobs overseas, how they have reinvented themselves as the avatars of virtue, whereas the people, their employees, the voters, they are the bad guys. No, we are the good guys. We greedy sons of bitches, we are the good guys. And that is a remarkable phenomenon. I think Marx and Lenin would be quite astonished by this. Peter, what's your take?
Yeah, I mean, also what they're doing is that, all of these products that are and services that these CEOs, the companies that they represent, well, I mean, So they're making a distinction between voters and workers. Okay, so they're willing to punish workers. Okay, and that's exactly what they're doing. I can't think of a better, perfect example of the professional managerial class thinking they know better. This democracy thing, yeah, okay, whatever. But really, at the end of the day, we are the mandarins of the universe. And they have found a perfect storm with media, with academia. What they're doing, and because we're on the gaggle here, they're just covering their asses is what they're doing, okay? It's great. We're for election integrity, but no unions here. Don't worry about it, okay? And so, everyone was talking about Major League Baseball pulling the All-Stars game out. That affected, who knows, hundreds of thousands of workers that were counting on that coming out of this economic turndown. Right. No, you're not worthy.
That's right.
You're not worthy of these things because you voted for people that have no virtue. And of course, we decide what is virtuous because we're rich. No, you're rich because you have no virtue. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's it.
Okay.
That's exactly right. So what they're doing is they're punishing the people. They're using their economic muscle to punish people. And as you say, when you pull something out of Georgia, you are punishing the people of Georgia. You're punishing all the small businesses who rely on the factories, the big warehouses, and whatever. So you're punishing ordinary people. Like if you pull a baseball game out of Georgia, then you're punishing all the people who rely on the revenue that comes from having a major baseball game there. So this is the kind of people that we're really dealing with. They feel that they have the right to use their economic muscle to, you want to take part in the debate, fine, take part in the debate. You're entitled to your views, express your views. That's not what they're doing. They think we have a right to coerce the people to accept our point of view. And that's really creepy.
Yeah, before all this nonsense started, let's say Boeing and Delta would come together and say, we are going to sponsor in every state capital, we're going to get a hall and we're going to sponsor a debate on election integrity. And we're going to invite advocates and proponents and all of it. And we want to sit down and hash it out. And we'll have it live streamed. Anyone can watch it. And there'll be a comment section. And we really would like to hear what you have to say. But no, they made the decision. They decided the debate. Right. They don't want to debate. They've already decided. Okay. One thing that really irritates me, George, about all this is the Republicans. Okay, right. How many of them are standing up for workers? Right. How many?
Right.
How many? No, they're just worried that they're bending themselves into pretzels because they want that corporate money. That's right. That's okay. Right. Yeah. They're hypocrites. All of them. All of them are hypocrites. Yes. And Mitch McConnell, of all people. Corporations shouldn't get involved in politics. He is the single biggest beneficiary of corporate money in Congress. That's right. That's hypocrite.
That's absolutely right. And it was amusing that yesterday Laura Ingraham was talking about this, and then when she proposed remedies, she had no remedies, and then she said, "Well, the answer is not more taxes, because that's taxes. That's all big government." Well, why isn't the answer? I think the answer is more taxes. And if any company decides to ship its jobs, if you ship its jobs overseas, you hit them with enormous taxes. You hit them with tariffs. You hit them with everything. Basically, the government can do what it wants. I mean, if it really wants to crack down on corporations, it can do it.
Ask Teddy Roosevelt. Roosevelt.
Yeah. And if a company does do that, if they decide we will pull our factory out of this state and move it to another state because we don't like what this state is doing, you really hit that company. Yeah, and smash them with every taxes. You can even insist on unionization. You say, no, I think you should unionize. We're not going to do business with you if you don't unionize.
George, it's national security.
Right.
Okay? And we'll invoke national security.
Right.
We'll take over your factory. Right. You want to see us do it? We can.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if you're going to do it, then to say, oh, well, we don't want more taxes. No, you're going to hit them with everything you've got.
Public opinion polls for well over a decade. People want to see these people taxed. Warren Buffett has even come out and said we should be taxed more.
Right, right.
Okay, and I think he was also saying it is a class war, and we're winning.
We're winning. My class is winning. Yeah, yeah.
No, I mean, look, see, this is why. See, again, we really want to stress it here, is that when you watch someone like Laura Ingraham, you watch someone like Sean Hannity, they can't differentiate conservative values, which are real and I support, but they're libertarians, right. Okay? And we need to get rid of this. Right. We need to cut it out of the conservative movement. You can be a libertarian, go ahead, do it, okay? But it's destroying the Republican Party. We don't need to raise taxes on these people. That's when you say, game over, Laura, game over, Sean,
right?
Because you've reached the limits of it, because it doesn't work. Okay, now you can wave the flag all you want. You can wave the Israeli flag all you want. You can talk about Dr. Seuss all you want. But I talk about jobs and wages and economic opportunity, and use the government to support my ideas, because a lot of people believe in my ideas. Government is a problem when it's used the wrong way. I say use it the right way. I have no problem using the government. I have no problem raising taxes.
That's it. No, that's exactly right. And that's why these corporations can do what they do, because they know they've got the Republicans. You don't need that. We don't need to kowtow to the Republicans, because we've already got them. They're not going to raise their taxes. They're not going to do anything that's painful for us. So why don't we do everything that the Democrats want? I mean, maybe we can get some of them onto our side. I mean, once you give up, any weapons of your own, then that's it. You've given up the fight. And the corporations have been very, very skilled for a long time. They've been playing this identity politics because it works for their bottom line. You set workers against one another. You set white workers against black workers against Hispanic workers, men against women, young against old. And everybody hates everybody else. And they go to the corporation, the HR, which is HR. People think HR is on their side. HR is management. You go to HR and you complain, oh, I didn't like, I think he's getting more than I'm getting. Oh, I didn't like the little joke that my colleague made. And that's it. They love this sort of thing. And suddenly they are the good guys. Well, we're on the side of inclusivity. We're on the side of diversity. It's these uneducated, unwashed masses whom we employ. They are the bad guys. They are the sexists. They are the racists. It's a wonderful little game they've been playing. And
yes.
Yeah.
But the winning game, the ultimate winning games, is addressing what is really happening here. This artificially created class war. Okay, that's where you start dealing with it. The culture wars, they want you to turn blue in your face talking about this while they're stealing from you, okay? That's what they're doing. Look over here. We're going to talk about Dr. Seuss, and they're pickpocketing you, okay?
Yeah, that's right.
That's exactly what it is. And you got to stop fighting it there. Fight the class war, because that's what it is. They created it. Okay, I accept it as a reality. I'm willing to engage, okay? We will win on that issue.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter what your color of your skin is,
right?
Okay, it doesn't. It's immaterial.
Exactly. That's exactly right. If you want to win it, you can win it. You're the government. The government prevails. I mean, we were talking the other day about what the Russians said, that Twitter has to follow Russian laws. Yeah, that's exactly what any government says. You have to follow our laws. If you don't, we're going to hit you. We're not going to put up with any more of your nonsense of deplatforming. We're not going to put up with all your nonsense, hogging all the advertising as Google does, all your anti-competitive practices. We're not going to do it. And we're not going to put up with your shipping jobs overseas, or decide that, well, we don't like this state, we're going to move to that state. We're just not going to do it. We're just going to hit you and hit you and hit you. because we are more important than you are. You know, you are a corporation, we're the government, we represent everybody. You don't really represent anyone, really. I mean, you don't even represent your shareholders. I mean, you know, just represent the CEO and all the guys who, you know, making, you know, money hand over fist. So that you can do. Republicans don't really want to fight that war. And so they just whine and whine. And then, as you say, let's talk about Dr. Seuss. It's so much more fun.
And it shows the lack of courage. It shows the lack of courage and imagination, because if the Republicans continue to headed by this libertarian ideology, the left wins. Yep. The left wins by default.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And it was just a side note is that the other day there was an interview on CBS's 60 Minutes with Jerome Powell, who was the chairman of the Fed, who blurted out, I mean, apparently he didn't think it was anything important, blurted out, well, because he was asked, you know, how is it that we don't have an inflation? I mean, we have to spend and spend and spend, and we have these budget deficits. And how is it we don't have any inflation? Said, well, because these days, you know, it's hard to raise wages because you can always ship jobs overseas, and therefore, you know, we can bring people in, and so wages remain stable. That's why we don't have inflation. That's it. That's the little trick that the corporations have been playing for years. We don't have inflation because they can keep wages low. You do it by offshoring. You do it by bringing in constant supply of cheap labor. Okay, we're back. We're back now. All right.
Yes, I'm back. Let's see.
You want to wrap it up, Peter?
There we go. Okay.
Give a summary.
Yeah, I mean, for me, obviously the reaction against this should be negative. These people were not elected. They have no respect for democracy. But the Republicans are selling out working people by not embracing them. We had Trump at Mar-a-Lago talking to the head honchos of the Republican Party. It wasn't even mentioned. Yep. Not even actually talked about the culture wars.
Yeah, that's right.
It's the wrong path. The wrong path.
Absolutely is. All right. Well, thank you very much, Peter. We will maintain our laser-like focus on the woke capitalists. And remember, we are now on Rumble. Please look us up there. And if you like the gaggle, please like, share, and subscribe. See you soon. Bye.